Hey Bookie, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am Mecca, and today we are going to be doing the collective reading for the month of April 2024 for all signs, okay? A couple of church announcements before we get started. The first of which being this is a general reading. So, if you would like a reading that is more catered to you, make sure you click the link in my description box and book you a divvy, okay? Secondly, there are going to be some new things coming to the channel, and as I get more in my bag and as as I become more consistent, one thing that you will start to see throughout the month of April is extended reading. So the collective will always be free for everybody, but if you are wanting a little bit more in terms of your specific sign, whether that be your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, north node, south node, whatever, make sure that you keep your eyes out, because what I'm going to start doing in the month of April is making extended readings, which will be available in my snip feed link, which is always down below in my description box. Okay, they're going to be $3.99 per video. So if you just feel like you need a little bit extra, okay, make sure you go and you check that out in the month of April. Okay. Also, if you hear my neighbor above me, I apologize. I have literally been sitting here for hours. It has been dead quiet, and I turn the camera on, and as per usual, she decides that she wants to get up and move around. Okay, so bear with me. So let's get into this reading. I purposely decided to pull on camera this time. Ooh, okay, Lord Jesus. To see what comes out in real time, okay? So, our overlying energy and also all of the decks that I use will be linked below, because y'all always ask me what decks I use. So, the card that we have as our overlying energy is motion, okay? Um, what an appropriate card, because I feel like even outside of the realm of time, things are just moving so fast. Like, things are just like, for example, the fact that it's already April, and I feel like I blinked in April, which is like, hey girl. But things are moving very fast, right? And for a lot of us, I know for me, as a slow moving, methodical Capricorn, sometimes it is hard to keep up with the motion of things. And I love the fact that at the bottom of the deck, yeah, yeah. Okay. I love the fact that at the bottom of the deck, the first card that we have is Guide, right? The second card that we have is Balance in the reverse. Oop. And then we have Moving Right, which is also in the reverse, okay? So things are moving forward, but I think the question of the moment is, just because they're moving forward doesn't mean that we're moving in the right direction, which in turn calls for some internal conversations that needs to happen, because y'all know I don't like focusing too much on the external all the time, because I feel like there's a lot of people who do readings that do that. I like to talk about your insides. Pause. I like to talk about your insides, okay? I like to talk about what's going on internally, right? And so, with balance being in the reverse, with moving right being in the reverse, this guide card to me is the most important, because I feel like what this is saying, and this is even before we get into the tarot, I feel like what this is saying is, as you move forward, check on what it is that you are being led by. Okay? And this could be talking about how you're leading yourself, how you are allowing others to lead you and make you believe about yourself, and most importantly, are you listening and being led by your spirits, by your spiritual court, by your ancestors, by the divine? What is it that you are tapped into in this moment that is leading you? Especially if if these two cards, balance in the reverse and moving right in the reverse, is applicable to you. Okay? Because what this is saying to me is unalignment. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to use it. Unalignment, okay? Um, and that's not always a bad thing because to me, I feel like sometimes being out of alignment can show us how best to get back in alignment, right? It shows us what is off, what needs to be looked at, what needs to be sorted through. And I know me personally, don't want to continue to move ahead in a way that is going to be detrimental to me in the future. I want to be as in alignment as possible to the best of my ability. And for some of us, like I said earlier, that's a struggle every day, right? To remember to check in with self and see if the ways in which we are moving forward are in alignment with or conducive to what it is that we are wanting to move forward with, right? So we're gonna. Do I wanna? Yeah, I do. We're gonna get into the tarot. Also, I feel like it's important to note these other two cards at the bottom of the deck. Y'all know, bottom of the deck, girl, don't do that. Don't make that face. Anyway, we have reflect and we have completion. So now is a time where, or during April, you may be in a time where you're reflecting on things that have been ending, which has prompted this, right? Which has prompted you to realize or acknowledge that there are some things that are out of balance. There are some things that you're not moving right on, right? And April may see you what is the word? Recalibrating, course correcting. Recalibrating is course correcting, using your guides. I said it the other day on Twitter, and oh my God, I meant it. Right now, like, this is the time more than ever to be tapped into your folks, into your spiritual court, to your spiritual guides, to whatever deity it is that you are in community with, to your ancestors, whatever that guide looks like for you. Less external, less opinions from other people, more tapping in to your sensors, to your guides, because they are your sensor. They are your home space. They are your first line of defense, right? So make sure in April that you are doing things. Make sure you're sitting at your altars. Make sure that you are communing with your spirits and with your folks and listening, really like full body listening to what it is that they're trying to get across to you, because baby, we're living, and I said this as well on Twitter, we are living in some strange times right now, okay? It's weird out here. And it is so easy to be distracted. It's easy to want to get a second opinion or advice from other people, but it's just not the time for that. It's not the time for that. Spirit, can we get some more energies? What are the energies? Give me the energies. Mm. It's funny because the card that just came out, uh, the card that just came out. This is my second time trying to do this reading, because she was being way too loud a second ago. But one of the cards that came out upright in the last reading just came out again, but it's in the reverse. So let's see. I'm gonna put you there. Okay, so our first cards out, interestingly enough, is Major Arcana. We have the Devil and we have Temperance in the reverse. Okay. Now, in the last reading that I did, um, before I was like, okay, she's being too loud. One of the cards that came out was, what was that card? Two Worlds in the Oracle deck, right? And I was saying in the last reading how I felt like a lot of us, myself included, more importantly myself, for myself, has been feeling like I've been in between two worlds. And Temperance also came out, but Temperance came out in the in the upright in the last reading. Temperance being here with the double card, especially in the reverse, I'm gonna say this, and you've heard myself and other diviners and readers say this, probably even astrologers, say this a lot. Time is not linear. Not only is time not linear, our timing is not divine timing. And right now, it's so crazy that this is basically pretty much the same reading as before, just different cards in a different way of explaining it. Right now is not the time to rush. It's not the time to speed through. I know that we just got into spring. I know that we are about to head into Aries season, and we want to do all the things as we should, because now it's time for the motion and the ocean, right? It's time to move forward. But at the same time, if you and your spirits and your spiritual court and your dead folk are like, okay, it's time to move forward, but be very calculated with your steps. Be very slow moving in how it is that you move forward. I would heed that. It's great that everybody else is doing X, Y, Z. But if that's not what your heart is saying to you, if that's not what your soul song is singing, and that's not what your folks are saying, I would tread very lightly on how quickly and how I move forward. Why? Because I feel like in the air, there is this level of impatience, right? This level of, especially with Temperance being in the reverse, because again, when I look at Temperance, I think about duality as well. I think about balance as well. And we already have balance out here in the reverse. So, April may see you slowing down while everybody else is speeding up to figure out what is out of balance, what is out of whack. And it could very well be this Capricornian double energy of wanting to do things the same way, or wanting to do things the way that you see other people doing them. And that might not be your ministry. We are living in a world, I feel, especially because I've had to have these same conversations with myself. I am me and you are you, right? And so the unconventional ways in which I've had to do things these last couple of months, I have no doubt have taken people aback. People I'm almost sure have been like clutching their pearls, because y'all know I use myself as an example all the time. Mecca, why would you quit your job without a backup plan? Mecca, why would you do X, Y, Z? Why would you blah, 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 blah? And one thing that I have been learning is obedience is going to look weird to other people. It's going to look weird. It's going to look weird to people who don't understand what your particular assignment is. And I feel like now is a time for us to, like, in terms of that, have tunnel vision, right? You can't be worried about how it looks to other people. You can't be worried about whether you're going to be able to catch up to other people and match the speed that they're going to get up to where they are, because that most likely is not where you're supposed to be. And also, you don't know. Number one, you don't know their story, but also nobody said that speed was the end all be all, because they may be speeding past you, but that might mean that they get to the chaos before you do. Okay, so As we move forward in April, look at the ways that, or look at how you have tied yourself to doing things the same way. Um, and whether this be the same way as before, whether it be the same as other people, whatever it is for you, take a look at that, because I feel like that may be what is causing the unbalance, right? Next card out, we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, right? Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. That's interesting. Um, be open. Be open to doing things in a new way. April may see you having this aha moment and being blessed with information that you might not have had the honor or the opportunity to be blessed with or presented with, because you trying to move fast. Okay? Fast car. It's not saying don't move forward. There are going to be hiccups. It's not saying don't move forward. It's saying move forward in a way that is conducive to you. Learn your own magic. Mind your own conjure. If I like, oh God, that has been such an important part of my story as of late, right? That's been such an important part of what I need to remember. Mecca, it's not gonna look like it looks for you for everybody else. Mecca, the things that everybody else is doing, baby, ain't nobody, they ain't got nothing to do with you. Let folks do them. Let folks be them. Let folks take the path that they're supposed to take. What you are supposed to be doing is X, Y, and Z. And how you do it is completely up to you. But also, in the grand scheme of things, because I am very, I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but I'm very stubborn. I'm very stubborn. I'm such a Capricorn. Okay. In the way of, I like not only things to be done a certain way, I don't like to deviate from that. Especially if in some sense it's worked for me before. But one thing that I've been realizing is just because it's worked for me before doesn't mean that it's going to work now. Why? Because there are things that are completing, there are cycles that are completing. In the way that I went about those things, I had to do it in that way for the time that I was in. Baby, we on a new timeline. Okay? Future, we on a new level. We have to do things different. I'm on a new level. Okay, like we have to do things different. The way that we were doing things, Mecca girl, they're not gonna work that way. So I'm gonna say the same to you. Take April to look at the way that you are doing things and decide whether the way that you are moving forward is in a way of alignment, or are you being impatient? Are you not wanting to wait to hear from your folks? Are you not wanting to sit with yourself and to really internalize how it is that you're supposed to move forward, because you're in such a rush, because everybody is doing X, Y, and Z? That is going to get you nowhere fast. Please take and heed the warning, because y'all know I don't talk about things that I don't live through. Okay? Next up, we have the Three of Wands. Let's clarify. Okay? And as soon as I, child, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. Why am I getting messages? Anyway, as soon as I looked at the Three of Wands, I heard that Kitty gospel song. He's got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world. You literally have the whole world in your hands, baby. What are you gonna do with it? What are you going to do with it? This is not, and I understand we're moving through a lot of Aquarian energy, right? But actually, let me go back. We're moving through a lot of Aquarian energy, and Aquarian energy typically talks about the collective, right? It's not one of those energies or modalities where it's like, or it could be individualism, right? But in order for you to be a part of a whole, you have to be understanding of who you are as an individual as well, right? And understanding that at your fingertips, at your disposal, You're already equipped with what it is that you need to move forward. You're equipped with the knowledge that is ready to turn into wisdom, that is waiting to turn into wisdom through your experiences on how you move forward, right? That's why it's so important to not want to skip through this and not want to um, speed, because you'll miss things. You'll miss experiences. A lot of people, and y'all have heard me say this before, a lot of people are so ready and so apt to get to what is perceived as the end goal because there's not really ever an end goal. Let's be correct about that. But some people are so apt to want to get to that end goal and they want to speed through the process. And maybe the process is where the meat and the potatoes are. The process is where you're going to find the gems, the jewels, the wisdom, or the knowledge that turns into wisdom. You find all of that on the journey. Interestingly enough, bottom of this deck, we have journey, okay? You're going to find those things on the journey, and the journey never ends. And so you have that ability to constantly be picking up, right? Constantly pick up knowledge, constantly turn it into wisdom, constantly be an alchemist. To me, when I look at this Three of Wands, that's what I see. That's what would turn this reverse moving right. That's what would turn it upright for me, right? Is you coming into the understanding that, yeah, we're all a collective and we're all part of the collective, but I'm also an individual, and how I show up as an individual, and the more that I get that, I don't want to say right, but the more that I am in tune and in alignment with who I am as an individual, the better that I can be in community, the better that I can be as part of the collective. Because we all have something to give to the collective. We all have the gift that is us. You, alongside your folks, you are able to craft what that looks like. And to me, it's a beautiful thing that it doesn't look like everybody else. Like, I used to be so ashamed of how eccentric I am because I've been to a certain degree like this all my life. I'm very eccentric. I like different things, like things that other people, and I just said this earlier on Twitter, and I swear I meant it. Like, things that other people find interesting or things that other people are focused on right now, I don't care about, because my focus is on different things, right? I'm just, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I'm a weirdo, and proudly, right? But it took me a long time to be proud of that. That took a lot of self reflection. That took a lot of internal dialogue and changing of internal dialogue for me to get to a point where I'm like, look, this is me, this is Mecca. Take me at my, all of my weirdness, all of my eccentricness, or don't take me at all. And that is my gift to the collective, right? What is your gift to the collective? But before you can answer that question, you have to get into a space where you can recognize it for yourself. And for a lot of us, I think that's what April looks like. Let's clarify this Three of Wands here. Why is this Three of Wands here? I keep looking over at this completion card, and the only thing that I keep thinking is old things have passed away. Old ways of being has passed away, which is why it's so important for you to reflect on what that looks like for you, right? Are you getting the lessons? Are you applying the gems and the jewels and the knowledge and turning that into wisdom as we move forward? Because there, at this point, there's no going back. We see it on a global scale right now. The world is in mass hysteria, okay? The proverbial shit has literally hit the fan. And there is no unseeing it. There's no going back to it. Like, we can even take what's going on, let's say, in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, as proof of that, right? It's going to be very hard for us to look at these celebrities in the same light, because we're now living in a time where they can't really hide because social media is the thing. And if you notice, it's not necessarily new allegations about these celebrities that's coming out. These are things that have been going on behind the scenes for decades that are now coming to the surface, right? And it's causing a lot of us to not be able to look at these people the same way, right? There's no like, and I'm gonna use Diddy as an example because that's the all the rave right now. Um, when it like Diddy made so much good music, unfortunately, and there's a lot of people that's like, yeah, he's the king of sampling, and all he did was take it and flip it and sample it, but he did it in his own way. Like as a millennial, as a child who grew up in the '90s, bro, Bad Boy was taking over everything, right? And he made so much good music, and he made such different music, and now it's kind of tainted for me because I'm not one of those separate the art from the artist type of people. I'm sorry. I, I can't. Knowing what you've done, I will never listen to your music the same way. Not only will I never listen to your music the same way, but on top of that, I'm not about to continue to listen to your music because that's adding to your pockets. Okay? But it's like a stain on Bad Boy now. I mean, adding to the stain of Bad Boy, but it's a stain on Bad Boy now. Like I could never listen to any Bad Boy artists. Well, I can't say artists because I feel like let me not say that. Wait a minute, because I was about to say I feel like the artists don't always have, but no, if you were around and you were, um, what's the word? Uh, I can't think of the word right now. Complicit. If you were around and complicit while this shit was going on and you said nothing, no, you're just to blame too. But in terms of Diddy, it's hard for me to listen to his early music because he was such a part of it. Like I could never look at you the same way again. I said all that to say we will never look at the same. We will never look at the things that have completed their cycles in the same way again. Right? There's no going back to having. I mean, you can go back to having rose-colored glasses on, but that's not like once you know, you can't unknow. Once you see, you can't unsee. So all that to say, take your focus off of and now reflect as you need to. Don't get me wrong, reflect as you need to, but don't let what has been completed be your focus. Reflect on it in the way of okay, this has happened. This is what I did then. How do I move forward? Right? The cards that came out are the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Babe, what you worried about? What you worried about? Because you have the Ace of Wands here. You have that green light. You have that um help from the heavens, right? Help from your folks in order to build something sustainable, in order to build something long lasting, in order to create a new foundation. But for a lot of us, I feel like, and when I say us, I say me too because I'm part of the collective. But for a lot of us, we're worried about how it's going to be received, how it's going to be celebrated. That's not your business right now. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Don't overlook this Ace of Wands looking at this Three of Cups because that's just another Ten of Wands. That's another burden that you don't need right now. Rest in the fact that you have this Ace of Wands. Rest in the fact that although moving right came out reversed and balance came out reversed, you can change those things. Rest into that. Lay the burden of other people. Like if you don't get nothing out of this message, that is definitely the thing that I want you to get out of this message. Your worry right now is not other people. And I cannot stress this enough. It is not other people. And this is a conclusion that I personally came to this week. It's not other people. You need to be focused on you with this Ace of Wands and this Ten of Pentacles right now. And bringing yourself back into balance so you can better see that. How do you do that? By resting. By resting in the fact that this ain't got nothing to do with other people. You decide how you move forward, not other people. You decide what gets celebrated, not other people. You decide what comes into completion, not other people. Take your autonomy back in April. Once you come, and this has been such a powerful, game-changing thing for me, once you realize that don't nobody have authority over you but you, it changes the game so much. It brings things back into balance so much, because a lot of times when we're out of alignment and we're out of balance, it's because we are so worried about how we show up, about how we are perceived, about how people feel about the things that we're doing. But at the end of the day, baby, if they're not helping you forward in a way that is conducive to where it is that you want to go, it shouldn't matter in the first place. And we say that a lot, but I feel like we need to make that louder. I feel like we need to pack that up. I feel like we need to focus on that aspect of it, that piece of it. Because it all comes back to you. Every single time. It all comes back to you. Being in community with folks is great. Getting second opinions from folks is great. But what are you doing with the divine guidance that you are getting from the people who matter, which are your folks, your dad, your spiritual court, your spiritual guides, the divine, your deities? What are they saying to you? Don't put more burdens on yourself than need be. Okay? Let's get an oracle. Let's get an oracle. What oracle deck do I want to use is the question. Let's use the Star Codes Astral Oracle. Let's do that. If my short ass can reach it. And I'm not editing this video either. So whatever just happened, y'all gonna see that too. Alright. Spirit, can you give us one more card to close out this reading, please? Please. Remember to like this video if you got something out of it. Drop a comment. Y'all know I love talking to y'all in the comments, okay? So if this resonated, or if it didn't resonate, drop a comment, whatever. But like and subscribe. Alright. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like, these cards just like slipped out of my hand, but I kind of want to take them because it checks. It absolutely the fuck checks. Okay. Now, of course, I asked for one card to get 5, but it's okay. We have Vision, which is Neptune. We have Nurture. I don't know how I pronounce that, so we're just going to say Nurture. Nurture. We have Cancer, Immerse. We have Leo, Shine. And we have Taurus. I love this card. It is such a pretty card to me. We have Taurus, which is Cultivate. Literally everything that I just said. What is your vision? How can you nurture your vision? How can you immerse yourself in your vision to cultivate it and let it shine through? I just gave you the answer, literally. Immerse yourself in yourself. Immerse yourself in your vision. That is how you cultivate it. Like, some people would say being full of yourself. Okay? I'm not, I don't see a problem with that. I don't. Outside of being arrogant and cocky, you feel me? But like, there's nothing wrong with being full of yourself. Why? Because when you are full of yourself, it leaves no room for others to plant things within you that are not conducive to your vision. When you are full of yourself, and when you pour into yourself, and when you immerse yourself with yourself, there is nothing that somebody from the outside, whether it be a person, a spirit, um, a experience, whatever, there's nothing outside of yourself that is going to move you from your vision. There's nothing outside of yourself that is going to make you cultivate your vision in a way that's not the way that it needs to be cultivated. Use April to immerse yourself. Be full of you, boo. Be full of you, okay? Be so full of you, you don't have room for nothing else. All right? I love you. If you would like to book a reading, hit the link down below. And I would love to kick it with you. I would love to catch a vibe with you. So go ahead and click the link and book you one, okay? Comments. Leave comments. I want to talk to y'all. Be great. Get bread. Stay all the way live. And with everything in April, be intentional. Bye, Bookie.